How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rowlet, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're taking a look at Pokemon news, rumors, leaks that you guys may not know about. So sit back, relax, there is a lot to talk about. It's going to be a long video, so grab yourself a beverage. Here's the first thing we're going to take a look at from Soul Silver Art. Now, to explain what's going on here, Soul Silver Art is a leak analyst. He takes leaks and riddles and rumors and tries to break them down. And the most recent one he's referring to here is from somebody called Ku, which you guys see the name of right here. Now, who is Ku? Ku is a leaker that has for many months now been leaking information about Scarlet and Violet, but also who last year leaked Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and Legends Arceus information. So he's a legitimate leaker, and he's been giving us a lot of info, so we're going to talk about a lot of the stuff he's mentioned. But according to Silver Art, he counted how many potential new Pokemon we have from the Ku leaks and official reveals, and the main variable is they have Evos or not. By the count, we're already at 37. Give or take a few. Then there's other decently credible suggestions that it brings it to around 44. Yeah, there's definitely 100 plus Pokemon. So yes, we can guarantee there'll be over 100 new Pokemon in this game, guys. 100% guaranteed. And he did count 4 regional forms in that total, so 44 out of 45. The potential new evolutions. I'm hoping all the brilliant Pokemon make up a post list, underneath this. So yeah, he's just saying hopefully people make a list down here. Nobody did make a list of all the Pokemon, but we continue on to the next thing. Now, this is about Ouroboros. So what he's talking about here? Well, specifically about the legendaries in this case and their connection and what the third legendary might be. So he says, Ouroboros doesn't exactly line up, but it'll be cool if Koraidon and Miraidon were somehow connected to this ID. It does represent the life cycle and eternity and infinity, so in a way, it still relates to time. Or maybe if one is a past and the other is a future, maybe the third legendary could be infinity, which is true, could be that, because Ouroboros is the snake that eats its own tail, right? So basically signifying infinity and eternity, right? More or less. So there you go. If you guys didn't know about this, there you go. But he's trying to say here that the third legendary could be connected to that, and also possibly you guys can see the connection here from Error, who says, I'm absolutely shocked, I haven't seen this mention, anybody answering this shit yet. Which, yeah, that looks oddly similar, not gonna lie, but it is what it is. He says, or, now this was meant to be a joke, but we now think DUNSPARCE will evolve in Scarlet and Violet. DUNSPARCE is literally the Hoop Snake and Chukinoko Pokemon. Could DUNSPARCE in its new evolutions mirror the 2 new box legendaries? This is a wild theory I just wanted to post for fun because I love them. And here he is referencing again to folklore. The distinguished feature of a hoop snake is that it can grasp its tail in its jaw and roll after its prey like a wheel, which is really crazy, by the way. We continue on, though. Later on, lads, we have some more info. Though, if we forget the Ouroboros part of it and just focus on the hoop snake part of this, could be a similar metaphor for past and future, as in the hoop snake is a symbol of the natural and past, while Guns is a symbol of innovation in the future, which is this manga / anime that is kind of messed up, I'm not gonna lie. But either way, guys, what do you all think about those theories? Let me know. Move on to the next thing, which is from Soul Silver Art as well, who says, Ku has confirmed, again, Ku, the leaker, has confirming here that Water Ground is the answer to his second RF riddle. Now, we don't know if RF refers to regional form, writing form, whatever, but also he said he did the exact answer in that picture too, so we can dig more if we want to. Though I already believe that I know what it is. It's just a matter of wanting to fully solve the riddle. If we look right here, what people were asking him, oh, I think you have it. He said to pay attention to the negative. Puppy didn't bring the Toponium Z, and they're referring here to a riddle that he put together. He says, by the way, I knew you because you solved that number riddle, but actually I also hid the true answer in that picture so you could work on it furthermore. So there's more in these images, and we're talking about this image right here. This image hinted that we're going to be getting a brand new regional Pokemon, a brand new regional form that will actually have the typing of Water Ground, or a Pokemon maybe that has Water Ground that will be gaining a new regional form, but we don't know the typing of it. So basically, we try to figure out it's either Quagsire, Swampert, Wishcash, Gastrodon, or even Seismitoad line are potentially getting a regional variant. We just didn't know exactly what it was at the moment, right? So we continue down further here, where it says, however, he could also be messing with Yoriden here too, because there seems to be some animosity. Looks like it was just a misunderstanding. Well, that was resolved. Love when that happens. However, I think there's more about, and I believe I know what Ku meant about digging into further. So I do think a lot of these riddles, it's worthwhile going a bit deeper into them to know exactly what is going on. We move on to the next thing, which is from Pocozo, who says, based on what Ku replied, and this Pocozo, by the way, is also a leaker analyst, who says, based on what Ku replied, there could be something extra hidden in the last picture. There could be 4 types of coin Pokemon variables based on the Tapus. So maybe a rooster one, a bull, a butterfly, and narwhal one. for whatever reason. The coin, number 2, the coin actually has a body in its evolution / transformation. So, number 3, the coin has a body logo. So, we don't really know exactly, but I think it's because he included the image of like a Z crystal in this whole thing, and because of the fact that he replied saying that, basically there is more to dig into, there's more info in there. So, we'll have to wait and see if that is going to be the case, if there is more information to sort of exert from that or not, but let's just see what comes from this. So next up is this image right here from Blaze and Zinneror. Now this was posted over on 4chan with the person just saying Scarlet and Violet new Fishmon leaks. This is a new Pokemon. It's named Bacalao and is a pure water type. Never thought I'd leak anything, but my superiors haven't been the best lately. Here's the raw PNG. I'm going to be honest, fake. Not just because, nothing with the art. The art actually looks really good. I would say the art looks very Sugimori-like, very Pokemon accurate. It's just the way that this person says it, just like, oh, my superiors have been dum-dums, and that's why I'm putting this information out. Yes, of course you are, because you totally would do that as an employee. Just casually put this out, risking your job, your, job security, everything, possibly also jail time, by the way, because I'm pretty sure a lot of these developers do have to sign some kind of NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, which means that they're not allowed to share the information about these games whatsoever. And if you do, you can be taken to court for everything you have, plus even possibly, worst case scenario, jail time. So there is always the possibility of that, and I don't think that one is very real. But that's not the all though. There's also this one, which somebody, there's just, I don't know, this one was also included, which I don't really know. I think this one obviously is fake, because this looks like just fan art somebody put together, which is cool fan art, by the way, but definitely not worthwhile talking about. So, there you go on that one. Next up is this kind of really, interesting way to look at the new gimmick in these games. So, if you guys don't know, this kind of, blue little star logo there, that's a logo that's found in the official Japanese, logo of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And the Japanese logos, usually, if they have, little icons in them, those are icons that hint at the gimmicks in the game. So, for example, if you look at the X and Y logos, they feature the Mega Stones in their, in their design for X and Y in the Japanese logos. They have the literal Mega Stone in there. So, what does this mean? Well, usually what it means is that these games will, that usually, hints towards what the gimmick is going to be. It hints at, what it's going to be related to. And we know that this logo is in there, we just do not know exactly what it means. And here's an interesting concept by a 4chan rumor. The old gimmick forms are used as a reference for past and future forms. So basically, instead of past and future forms as the gimmick, the crystals combine the DNA of a present Pokemon with its past and future form, and in doing so makes it get a third type it once had or will have. So basically, if Charizard in the past, for example, had let's say dragon typing, but it lost it, then in the present time it will gain it. Or if in the future it doesn't have it, for example, you can see right here, guys, basically you have the future form could be the mega equivalent, right? The future form could be the mega equivalent, so Mega Charizard Y in this case, and the present time one doesn't have that extra typing, and by combining, it will gain a typing from one of those two, or in the middle, you can see it would gain the typing from either the future or the past, right? I think they actually messed up the wording here, because I think it's supposed to say on this one also, I think it's supposed, I'm not sure it's supposed to say that, but it's besides the point. Either way, what I'm trying to say is that, basically, you would take aspects of the different, Pokemon from the future and the past, and take their, forms or typings, whatever, and apply those to the present time Pokemon, or to the Pokemon that we're going to be seeing in Scarlet and Violet. That's basically the way we're looking at this. So what do you guys all think about this? Because I think these forms are actually, this idea is very cool. I think this idea of taking aspects from a future version of a Pokemon and a past version of a Pokemon, so an ancient form and a future form, and then taking aspects of it and shoving it into the present time Pokemon as a way to almost harness its powers from different times is actually, or even to awaken its past forms or its future potential, I think is bloody fantastic. I think it's a really cool concept that I'm really surprised we haven't dived into earlier in the franchise. So I personally think that is sick, but that's not even where everything ends, guys. We still have more information. This is from Eteri, who went on and tried to make an image to explain what he sees on this giant board. You guys may remember this board from the first trailer in the actual, real-life segment of the trailer, but he put together saying, I try to make an image to explain what I see here. For me, it could be a researcher slash paleontologist of some of the ruins related to the gimmick and the Greco-Roman civilization. Sada, maybe, question mark. There's a lot of things, so it was difficult to keep it clean. But he has a massive image here that he put together. He also has kind of a breakdown, by the way, here, guys. He has a breakdown of a bunch of other info, because people were asking, what the deal is with all this. And he just says, just a little teaser, that blueprint is a Roman pantheon, if you see it right there, what he's referring to. It would be a Roman pantheon that he's referring to right there. So that is quite strange, which means there is a lot of Italian, Greek, like Greco-Roman, etc., stuff like that, references. Colosseums also look like this. I've talked about the existence of Roman circular architecture before, which is interesting because he did have that in a previous thread back in March, where he specifically brought up the idea that a new thread with some theories about Scarlet and Violet. This time we'll try to explain the possible location of the desert we see in the Stone Journey trailer. First of all, I want to point out this structure. It seems to be some sort of circular ruins, and that is important for real location of the desert. I will talk about later. Now it's important to note that there's only one desert in Spain, the desert of Tabernas in Almeria, Andalusia, Spain. This desert is within the desertic area of the country, which covers Almeria and Murcia, and the desert as it being limited to Almeria, but the rest of the zone is pretty much almost a desert. The area I've marked in red on these maps, so that's the area that he was referring to. Murcia it has no desert, but is known for having badlands and dry soil, with the exception of the basin of the Segura River. But more importantly, has a very important building, the Roman Theater of Carthage, which is one of the biggest and pretty well preserved in Europe, which is right there, as you guys can see. So clearly, there would possibly be a connection right here, and he does ring a bell. The circular ruins. Well, let's see the map of the region. We can see in the trailer. Look at the zone I've marked. It seems to cover Almeria and Murcia, which is interesting. We might have a mix between the desert of Tabernas and the Roman ruins of Carthage in the game, which actually is pretty freaking cool. But back to what he was saying here, though, he has even more stuff. So this was where he was linking to originally. But if we go back now to his post, he has a massive amount of information that we can go through here, guys. So we start off from the top, right? So on the green section up there, like on the green part right there, he says that is a Roman triumphal arch. So that is what you have right there. Then you have the face of a Pokemon covered here, which we do not know exactly what that is on this image. Then we have the number, like the red one right here, the red ones, which is in the distance over there. Like if we look right here, this one, it says is a Inoc capital and column, classic Greek architecture. Then as you go down here on the other red ones, you see that it's more Greco architecture, stairs and columns. If you go to the kind of purple area right here, or pink area, compass plus square, false square question mark, or a thermometer potentially. There's also something else with like the star logo is here again. The star logo that we've seen before, he says gimmick star or Pokemon League star. I think it's a Pokemon League star or evil villain team star. So like we'll have to see what that it is. This star looks like a stained glass, something that is continuously referenced in images of the games, which is true. That is something that is very much present in the game trailers and information all the time. We continue on down though, guys. So he says on the green part right here, which you guys can see right here, this little green circle, basically that looks like some kind of lizard, Coridon possibly. Everything is about the past here, so kind of interesting to see what's going on. So this one would be all about the past. Then you have blurred photos. If you go to like the purple section here, you have blurred photos, which we can't really figure out what they are. They kind of look a bit old. One of them looks like a laboratory of sorts, which is interesting. If you guys look at that over there. Then we also have drawings from top and a side of some ruins, which is up right here as well. Then we have the paleontology brushes, which can be seen like right underneath me here on the green section. Right here, you guys can see that. And then we had, on top of that, we also have a pattern of mosaic of some ruins, which you guys can see with this like kind of shapes, these triangle shapes up here. So the mosaic shapes. We also have some strange dots in the map of Spain, some excavation points, which you can see, I think it's further up, like right about here. So this is clearly a map of, I think, Spain. I'm pretty sure this is a map of Spain right up here. So we can already tell from that there is some interesting, like, you know, archaeology stuff going on, paleontology, whatever you want to call it. We continue on though. Next up is this right here. Possibly could be Coridon's claws and head feathers. And then on top of that, let's just add to the goddamn formula. We have this thingy right here, which we already talked about. The blueprint of a Greco-Roman pantheon or Coliseum. And finally, we have the top part right here with like this like window section we have almost, which is a window for a cathedral or church plus the stained glass once again. So there you go. That's all the breakdowns in this image. It is quite a crazy one. There's a lot of stuff to be seen in here. And I feel like he just made sure to try his best to put this together as well as possible so people can get as much info as they possibly could from it. So what do you guys think about it? It is very curious. And also what's noticed about Blaze Incineroar down here is that if you actually look at this one right here, It does kind of look a little bit like Rotom in a way. Rotom, but also gives me a little bit of a feeling of a Porygon as well. I'm going to be honest. It kind of gives me Porygon feelings as well. But we'll have to wait and see if that's going to be the case. So that was one of the craziest things we've seen. But there is even more to talk about, which is this right here from Osmio, who put together a map analysis of the latest Scarlet and Violet trailer. And they covered like the starting town, the big cities. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. He says one of the big, or they say, one of the biggest things that made me able to locate, us in this shot from the second trailer. There's an upscale version of it. So here we have a just really clean screenshot, I'm not going to lie, of parts of the game, which actually is really interesting. You can see in the distance here, there is like, some, what do you call it, like a building of sorts out in the middle of the world. So the game is going to be loaded with just like little weird locations and stuff that we can find as we're exploring the open world, right? Which is going to be interesting. We continue on though. In here, we can see the starting town, or at least the purple house. I'll refer to it as the Professor House. Our starting town is near the lighthouse where we saw Magnemite in the first trailer. Also, it is a lighthouse. We can confirm that thanks to this shot showing Quoxley that Hisuian Zoroark picture was taken near it. So I feel like we already really forgot about this, but Hisuian forms are in this, by the way. Like, the fact that this guy is in here, like, it's kind of crazy if you really think about it. But we continue on down and look at this. So you guys can see our starting house seems to be down there around the circle, and there is that whole, like, Magnemite, lighthouse thingy down there as well that we saw in, like, the first trailer, I think. And then in the background, we can see the lighthouse again here where my camera is. You can see it right up there, right there, you got it. Like, it's right up there. So, interesting again. Let's continue on down further. Says, so, we know there's a path in between our house and the professor's house. We can see it here with another direction that probably leads to the lighthouse or to the Hisuian Zoroark path or to the big city. So, now that we know where the starting town is located, we can go further into detail. So, we can see there is, again, the lighthouse in the top left. And we can see that there is a path leading most likely towards it. Behind our house and in the big shot, there's this big mountain. We can see it's a lot during both trailers. Like in this shot with a lake, this pond is this one near our our house. So for example, in the background, we know that there's the mountain right there. The same mountain we most likely see here. And then we have a pond right there, which is the pond we see right here in this segment. You guys can see it right at the bottom. So that is what you have right there. We move on to the next section, which is this. Near this pond are the ruins, which we can see a lot in the trailers as well, including in this shot, which I'll place around number 1. The ruins are also the Venonat shot, which is where here, number 2. So if we look at that, it's the same location that we also see right here. It's the same area, basically. It's located this part of the map. So this is like exactly where we're going to be seeing like the starting area. So this is basically the starting area of the game with the ruins being at the bottom right there. So not too far away from where our home is. And we're going to be next to the ocean as we start off. We also see a small part of a beach, which is the beach with the Pelipers. We can see a big mountain behind them. And you can see there's like a little bit of the beach, and guess what? There is a mountain as well as some rocks behind them right there. Okay, that is for the starting town. Now let's focus onto the big city. I believe that isn't far from our house. Here's why. In this shot from the first trailer is this weird mountain, which we can see again. So you guys may remember this big boy mountain in the distance. It looks like the same mountain we see right here. It looks like they are the same one. Based on what we can tell, like they do look in the same shape, so they are very similar. I think they are the same. So I guess the first big town is not going to be too far away from us in the beginning of the game. I agree it can be different mountain, but it's weird enough to not be the case. Furthermore, let's take a look at the website screenshot of the professor's house. Don't you see anything? That's right, the desert mountain. Which biome is close to the big city? Well, guess what? We look at that. We do see a desert biome right over here, possibly like just a straight up desert over there. Close to the, I guess, professor's house in this case. And if we go over here, we can see that, yeah, that same mountain is clearly close to the city. So I think this big city, the first one, is going to be very close to us. We're going to be able to get to it early. So to see how that's going to be like. And then if you actually look at this, if you actually kind of line it up on the map we have from these games, we can get kind of this image where the big city is up there, the big mountain is on the edge of the map, and the bottom we have the ruins, the beach, Venonat, Plains, Lake, and then the starting town is on the furthest bottom left. So there is a lot of space to explore. Plus, this is only a part of the map. We haven't even seen the full map yet. There's still loads to go before we have a full explanation. And there you go, lads. What do you all think about this? Breakdown. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And just in general, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I want to thank you all for the support recently. We've been going through quite a lot of information, and I do think that we are getting closer to a new trailer. I've already talked to you guys about the fact that if there is a Nintendo Direct this month, which I do think there is, now it seems more like it's going to be the end of the month, more than right now this week or, anytime soon, but at the end of the month. And I do think as there is a new trailer at the end of the month, we are going to be getting like a new trailer, a new Direct but if there is one, I think we're getting a new trailer for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet alongside that. On top of that, I think we're also going to be getting, you know, just in general, a Treehouse Live to show us brand new gameplay. Just brand new, straight up brand new gameplay. Also, remember guys, back with during Sword and Shield and even Legends Arceus, they did these weird promotional things. For example, they did a 24-hour live stream to reveal a brand new Pokemon to us, which was what? Galarian and Ponyta. 24 hours just to reveal that. But on top of that, that wasn't the only thing. The other thing they did was in Sword and Shield, they gave us this glitched website, which once it like stopped glitching out, we got the reveal of Surfetch'd. Then there's also for Legends Arceus, which they did the kind of like found footage for Zorua and Zoroark. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts and opinions on all this? Let me know in the comment section down below. Will there be a crazy new promotional thing they'll do? I personally think so. What do you guys think? Let me know, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out, and bye-bye.